Howdy YouTube. Today we're going to be doing the rear brakes, or rear drum brakes, on a 96 Dodge 2500 diesel pickup. It's a 3/4 ton. And this is what you're going to need. Is a hardware kit, your wheel cylinder, and the part number for your shoes. So I'm going to show you what you need to do. At first you're going to want to take off this top spring here. You're going to need a tool like this. You gotta put that in there, and you're just gonna see. Well, you just gotta rotate it. Yeah, there it is.
Now that I got the springs off, take my spacer off here, and then look at the bottom. I still have my tensioner, everything in place. So in order to take your pads out, you see they're stuck. You have to use a special tool to push the round springs to get the pins out. Once you get the springs and the pins out, then your pad should come out. You just want to make sure you kind of remember where everything is. So with this tool, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push down, and then I should be able to rotate it and then get my pin and pull it out the back. So if you take this apart, you want to make sure that the other side, the drum is off, but none of the parts are taken off, so you can observe and see where things are going, just kind of like a road map, so you know what you're doing. I like taking parts off and laying them down exactly the way they were. Just gives me a better idea of how things are supposed to be. And I like cleaning everything off the wire brush, so I know that was in there. So you got the C-clip here. I'm going to have to spread that C-clip in order to get my parking brake lever off.
So in your kit, they don't give you one of these, and they don't give you little spacers in the back, but they give you a new one of these. And they don't give you this. You have to clean this up. So I'm going to take these all to the wire feed, and I'm going to clean this up, clean my drawbar up, clean this up. And if you're doing wheel cylinders, you don't get a new one of these, so you got to clean these up too. So keep watching. So now that everything is clean and you can tell everything's nice and shiny on your tension or in your adjuster, you want to take some Seal Glide and just put a little bit of dab there and some on the threads, and just work it back and forth, and then adjust it to what it needs to be after you're all said and done. And that's going to keep it nice and lubricated. It's not going to seize up on you like it was before. So now you want to remove your wheel cylinder, which is a 2/13 in the back, and then a 10mm wrench in the back, and take that loose. And then once we get that, then we'll spray all this off, clean this off, and make all our contact points nice and shiny, and make sure there isn't any snags where your shoe may get hung up. And if we do, I'll show you how to take care of it. So now that everything's clean, I'm taking just a little bit of emery cloth here, and sometimes you can feel a little bit of a ledge here, and just making that a little more even with everything, because if you don't do that, then it's going to be a place for it to hang up. So just make sure everything's nice and even. Now that it's all cleaned off and nice and even, you're going to use some anti-seize, and you put some anti-sleeve in all your contact points up here, and yeah, just all these, and then up there.
So the spring here, it goes in this little hole here, and there's like a keeper on the side of the pad in case it's pushing back and forth. So in these steps here, I'm just getting all my stuff into place. So I can get my spring on here, and then I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to stretch it over my pin. So this spring goes on first over my washer, and then I'm going to do the other side and try to get it back on. So I kind of had a hard time recording this, but you just want to get your C-clip on there and get it on in place. So you can kind of like pinch together with a pair of vice grips. That's usually what I do. So this blue spring, I got it in place, and then I'm going to have to stretch it over and put it in place on my spring. You see that little hook there? That's where it goes. So I got my spring here, and then you can see up here I have my drawbar kind of in position. Once it's all said and done, the spring, that blue spring, will compress. That's what it's supposed to look like. And I get my orange spring up here, get it in place, and then I still have to do my tensioner at the bottom. Once I get everything tied up here, I'm going to try to force my tensioner, or my adjuster wheel, down at the bottom, as you can see here, try to get it back into place.
So you want to get your spring on there, you just got to kind of push your pads in, and then you'll get this on there. So next we're going to pull our shoes apart and get our tension or adjuster in there. So you want to use our stretching tool and get it in this, and then just hold on this, and then get your spring sprung, because it makes it a lot easier to get your tensioner in, or your adjuster in.
Howdy fixers! So that's how you do the rear drum brakes on that Dodge. Main things you want to take away from it is that you want to make sure that you jack it up both sides, take the drum off both sides, leave one side together while you're doing the other side. If you don't, you're not gonna, it's really easy to forget how things go. So at least that way you can look at the other side and see how it goes. It's gonna be reversed a little bit because the left side different from the right side is where things go for adjustments and all that other stuff. But it's the same, and it gives you an idea of what you need to do. Other thing you want to take from this video is there's the shiny spots on the outside. You want to make sure that those are cleaned, that nothing can hang up on them. If you have any like big deep grooves in them, try to make them so they don't catch, because if your pad catches on those, then your brakes are going to hang up and they're going to get stuck and you're going to have issues. Another thing, once you're all said and done, you got this back together, use a simple test you can do to make sure that everything's where it's supposed to be. You can take your left hand and your right hand and put it on each side of your shoes. And then you can just kind of hit it back and forth with your hands. And it's supposed to float. That's the whole reason of the surface on the side. It's supposed to allow the shoes to float back and forth and take up slack while you're braking. So that's how you know if you're working properly. Most of the time, if you have something in the wrong place, as far as like tension wise, not like, if you have a cable come down that goes to like an adjuster or something like that. Most of the time, if you have a spring in the wrong spot or something like that, it won't work quite right. And then it's kind of an easy self-test, so you know what you're doing. And I think that's it. And then you just want to bleed your new bleed your new wheel cylinder in there, and make sure that gets all the air out of there. Have somebody help you so you can bleed all the fluid out of there. Other thing is, once you're all said and done and you get the drum on there, you're going to have to adjust your adjuster wheel, and there should be a inspection hole in the back, and adjust it. Then you can adjust it to where you have an e-brake. If you do this and you don't adjust it, you won't have an e-brake. So you'll have to adjust it to where your drum drags, and then you'll have to adjust it even more once you have the tire on there, which is the big test, and then you want it to drag a little bit, and it's on the verge of being too tight, on the verge of being too loose. It's right in there, and then if you don't do it just quite right, you're not going to have an e-brake, but there's a little bit to it. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to give me a comment down below. If you liked it, give me a like, give me a subscribe, tell a friend about it. If you have any questions, like I said, put it down in the comments down below. If there's anything that you'd like me to cover, let me know. Looking for video ideas all the time. Hopefully this was helpful and helped you save some money and just was entertaining. I hope so. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and have a good one.